We all want to be loyal friends. And sometimes in some relationships, it can feel like that loyalty is draining us. And loyalty should never mean putting yourself last. Today, we're going to talk about how to be loyal in a friendship without feeling overwhelmed by it. Real loyalty goes both ways in a friendship. But what does loyalty actually look like in a friendship? It looks like being there for each other, being there for each other in actions, being there for each other in conversations. It means having each other's back and showing up for each other when needed. This could be at more difficult times that maybe one of the friends is going through, or it can be at other times that just like an inconvenience type thing. It's happened to me. Locked myself out of the house. My friend has a key to my house. I had to call her up, say, hey, can you meet me or do something? I need the key. Did your car break down somewhere? That loyal friend is probably the one you're going to call to come and help you, maybe pick you up, help you with a tow truck, something along that nature. So loyalty is showing up for each other and being there. And that, again, this could be at little maybe life's inconveniences like I just spoke about, or it could be at bigger events in one's life. It could be weddings, it could be funerals, it could be something related to health, but it's just knowing that that friend is the loyal one and the one you know you can call on. And there will probably be times when a friend handles something differently than you would have, or maybe in a way you don't agree with, but that does not mean you are not going to be there to support them. You are still going to support them, even though maybe an action they took, maybe a decision they made is not something that you agree with or you wouldn't have handled like that. But you, as the loyal friend, are still going to be there to support them. And loyalty isn't about keeping score on all of these things throughout the friendship, but it doesn't mean that you have to blindly accept everything forever either. And it certainly doesn't mean doing anything illegal that might end you up in jail for your friend. And there might come a point in the friendship when you're wondering, am I just still being a loyal friend? Or maybe am I enabling some type of behavior? Sometimes helping too much with the same thing over and over again actually just helps the problems continue to occur. Helping a friend through a problem or a situation is one thing. Consistently helping them clean up the same thing over and over again is different. Now it kind of feels like, am I just always being that loyal friend, or am I enabling some type of behavior that we keep coming into these difficult situations? If that's the case, at some point, people have to take responsibilities for their own actions. We all have to do that in life. And you can care deeply about someone and be that everlasting loyal friend, but still recognize when you see these patterns forming or these patterns recurring, the same things over and over again that you're constantly having to help with. And then it's like, well, am I being a loyal friend, or am I enabling maybe some type of bad behavior? And honestly, being honest with your friend about those thoughts, if you're having them, is also part of being a loyal friend. What happens if the loyalty stops going both ways in the friendship? There's a difference between helping someone through a season of their life where they really needed your support and carrying that burden for long term after that season has ended. Friendships are going to go through uneven times over the years. That is just a natural part of life. There's always going to be time when I'm going to need support for a certain season, or my friend is going to need support for a certain period of her life. That is naturally going to happen. And we're always going to be there to help each other and support each other through those times. And generally, those things will balance out over time. It's going to be for a season, and then things kind of level out and you kind of get back to your normal friendship wave. A problem can arise, though, when the imbalance starts to feel like it's becoming the permanent normal place in your friendship. You're always the loyal one. You are always helping to clean up situations or helping to support in different times. And it just starts feeling like you're not getting that same loyalty back. And it feels like it's becoming a permanent role for you. Not to be confused with we're always going to be loyal. Loyalty is a permanent role. But when it's so heavy that you're not feeling it reciprocated and you kind of start not feeling like a friend anymore, but more like you're responsible for everything in that friendship. And basically, that balance has not and does not return. And sometimes when that balance doesn't return, it really can feel like it's starting to wear you down. Sometimes you might not notice it for a while because you just are like, my friend needs support. I'm obviously going to be here for that person until maybe you wake up one day and you have a text and it's a recurring situation and your first thought is, oh no, not again, right? That could be a point where you're like, okay, I'm feeling a little worn out by this and I'm feeling like I'm carrying the load with no reciprocating, or this same situation is recurring over and over and over again. And sometimes when this happens, you might even have an inner thought like, am I being a bad friend? Am I being a bad friend because I'm feeling like this? No, you're not. If this is the case and you're just feeling tired, you're almost feeling a little bit worn down, there is nothing wrong with that. If you feel like you've been that loyal person who's just been carrying everything over and over again for a very long time, it can become very taxing. Because a lot of times when this is happening, you're putting yourself last, right? And that will catch up with you. It can feel exhausting, and being loyal to someone, it should not make you feel exhausted. It should make you feel good that you have a person you care enough about that you're willing to show that loyalty to. Just like if you have someone in your life who is loyal to you, that makes me feel good that I know I have a friend who is loyal to me. But if I take advantage of that and just keep asking her to show up and show up and show up and never show up for her, she would get exhausted by that. And if you are feeling this way, you can set up a boundary in your friendship related to loyalty. It's not going to end the friendship. Speaking up does not mean that you're giving up on the friendship. Having these conversations around this are better than letting some type of resentment build up. They're better than putting yourself last all the time. If you feel like you're enabling that friend, it's better for you to tell them. And I will tell you that there have been many moments between my friend and I in our 33-year friendship that we have openly admitted to each other that we enabled each other. Multiple times throughout our friendship, we have done this, and we still talk about it to this day. So that is going to happen. You can still care about someone and be a loyal friend, even if you want to change that dynamic just a little bit. Boundaries aren't going to drive this friendship away when it comes to loyalty. It is probably going to help that friendship survive even longer. I think real loyalty in friendships is about being there for each other during all of your different seasons of life, but also recognizing if that balance starts disappearing. Because eventually, if one person is carrying that all the time, it really starts to feel more like pressure than it does a friendship. And if you set that boundary, loyalty and boundaries can coexist. And honestly, that's why boundaries are so important in long-term friendships. I actually talked about that in another video about boundaries because they're not about pushing people away. Sometimes they are the one thing that will keep a friendship together for long term. I will link that video in the description below if you would like to check that out. Have you ever struggled with balancing loyalty in a friendship? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. We will see you in the next one. Peace.